introducing our next speaker. Social media has been with us for a number of years, and its impact cannot be overlooked. Steve has recently been engaged with LinkedIn, and it caused him to do some research on this professional networking system. Tonight he will share with us what he has learned about LinkedIn and how to increase your effectiveness with the site. Steve Elliot, stand out, get active, and get connected. Stand out, get active, get connected. Steve Elliot.
Thank you, Madame Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, honored guests. Please watch that I don't gesticulate too much up here. Because as Kathy has already pointed out, I am quite engaged in LinkedIn and enjoy its many benefits. But I find with tools sometimes, we just kind of take them for granted. They just become part of the wallpaper, as a boss of mine used to say. And so I thought I would dive in to LinkedIn to learn more about it. Now, who here has a LinkedIn profile? Who here has an active LinkedIn profile? Yeah, fewer hands went up for the active part. I'm going to share with you tonight, if you're not on LinkedIn, what may cause you to want to jump on board. And then for those that are already there, make you aware of all the wonderful benefits and features that LinkedIn has that you could be taking advantage of. LinkedIn was launched in 2003 by, it was actually co-founded by Garrett, I'm forgetting his last name, but Garrett and the co-founders of PayPal were in their kitchen and they designed what they thought in their heads would be LinkedIn. It launched in May of 2003. Now I remember when I was on my first job hunt from being let go from Sears in 2007, LinkedIn was still in its infancy for a lot of things. And I remember them talking about, ooh, there's going to be this great tool that we're all going to be able to use. It has been with us for 16 years. Well, now 17 years, I guess, in 2020. So it's one of the longest standing social media sites. And I think that helps to explain some of the benefits we're currently seeing from it. Does anyone know who owns LinkedIn now? Because I was shocked when I found out.
Microsoft.
Microsoft bought LinkedIn in 2016 for just chump change. $26 billion. Like it was just, you know, let's just buy LinkedIn. So they bought LinkedIn, Microsoft did, and they currently own it now. Now the board is diverse. They have some tech people, they have some HR people on their board, so it is a diverse board, but Microsoft is the final owner. And currently there are 650 million users worldwide on the LinkedIn platform. I'm going to talk a little bit about the growth that LinkedIn has experienced in a second. Now you noticed when I said who here has a LinkedIn profile, we had lots of hands go up. And then I said who here is active on LinkedIn, and some hands dropped. 14% of LinkedIn's users are on there daily and are posting content daily. That's not a big number when you think about how many actual users there are. Only 14% are actually engaged. 39% of people, however, will share posts from other people's content. So it is a site that allows for a lot of sharing. I find it different from Facebook, in that Facebook you tend to put your own pictures up, and you make your own comments, and then people come and like. But if Carl was posting something on Facebook, the odds of me sharing that with my family and friends, probably not too high. LinkedIn has a different philosophy, and it wants you to share. In fact, the more things that are shared, the more views you are going to get, and the more views you're going to get could either end up with more business for you if you're using it to track down leads, which is something I'm starting to use it for, or could get you in front of that recruiter or that dream job that you're looking for. In Canada, it's been estimated, based on Statistica.com, that 95% of recruiters are on LinkedIn. So there is huge acceptance. So if you're looking to get in with a recruiter, go to LinkedIn, make sure your profile is active. There has been some impressive growth in LinkedIn compared to other sites. Hootsuite, who tracks a lot of the social media sites, in Q2 of 2016, LinkedIn had 462 million users, and they grew by 123 million by the end of 2018. So tremendous growth. In that same time period, Facebook, stagnant, no growth. Twitter gained 9 million users. So Twitter, 9 million. LinkedIn, 123 million users. So explosive growth on the LinkedIn side may be your opportunity to get back in. Kathy mentioned I'm going to highlight some things that I have learned or seen on LinkedIn. Does anyone in this room work for Sears Canada? No? No, currently works for Sears Canada. Oh, because somebody in my profile or my feed last week was celebrating 30 years with Sears Canada. I thought maybe they were still around. No. So my point is, be active and treat your LinkedIn profile like you would your resume. Keep it up to date. There is nothing worse than that going out to your network and everyone realizing, oh, Steve hasn't updated his profile. He's just celebrating 30 million or 30 years at Sears Canada. I've also had people celebrate Target anniversaries who work in Canada. The other thing that LinkedIn has started to do, and I think it's a way for us to increase engagement, is they've started to put what's called bot responses. So in other words, if there is a work anniversary in there, it'll give you a number of options to select. There was one person on my feed who recently had a job change. 13 people recognized her job change. And guess what? They all used the same bot response. Congrats, Person X. How does that make Person X feel when all 13 people did the same thing? So I am on a crusade, and those that follow me on LinkedIn know about my crusade, and that is, do not use those bot responses. I know it's tempting, and it's easy just to say, oh, congrats. Take some time to personalize it. It's going to help you in the long run. I'll touch on quickly business to business. Business to business is another reason that LinkedIn is getting phenomenal growth. A lot of inside salespeople and account executives will be using that as a way to flesh out some leads, maybe connect with somebody that they're interested in doing business with. So if you are an account executive or you're in any sales role, I would say you're missing the boat right now by not being active on LinkedIn. And my final point is, if you would like to connect with me on LinkedIn, I think it was Nancy that changed my name a few weeks ago. So now you will find me on LinkedIn, but not as Steve Elliot. I am now Stephen Elliott with a PH. I'm connected with some of you on LinkedIn. I'm not connected with all of you. So if you'd like to connect with me, please do so. I can guarantee you I post content regularly, and you will love it. I swear. That is a little bit of LinkedIn. Phenomenal growth, a great social media tool that can be used for a number of reasons, and you should all be active on it. I will now turn it back to Kathy.